Let's go!
Let's watch this video. I have not seen this.
Hey everyone.
I've played the game.
It's our favorite time of year. So we thought we'd check in and let y'all know what's happening with Project L. From the start of this project, we felt that if we were going to make a fighting game, we needed to bring something new to the genre. We're investing in some big ideas that we hope will unlock new kinds of fun for fighting game fans. I'm happy to introduce one of those big bets for you today, which some of you have already suspected. Project L isn't just a tag-based fighting game. It's a 2v2 team-based fighting game. This means that teams of 2 players can face off together in the same match with each player piloting a single champion. So we're building a game where you can play with your friends as well as against them. Let me toss it over to Sean to explain how it works.
And super smart, right? What was a thing that we talked about possibly like over a year ago, where if this is going to be a 2v2 game, it's league, right? It's team-based. There's no reason for them not to allow each person to control each character. And the writing on the wall was when they were showing how the netcode was going to work and how their server structure online rollback was going to work. And then that was it for me. That was like the bullet in the gun, where it's like, oh, they're pulling the trigger on this. No, they're doing it. Because there was no reason for them to do that server-based infrastructure if it was 1v1. If it was 1v1, it probably wouldn't be, it might help, but it wouldn't be necessary because it is going to be a team game, right? Where there's 4 people playing at any given time. 4-player rollback can get a little funky. So what they need to do is to create midpoints where they're still going to use rollback, but they're going to essentially ping a server and use that server as a midpoint instead of somebody being like a host or something like that, if it being just based on peer-to-peer connection. So I'm thrilled. This was the thing that I wanted to show up in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite dearly. That was teased in its development, that we were going to get actual 2v2, 4-player total stuff. It was the most interesting thing in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, arguably. And fighting games that are 2v2 naturally feel like this is just fun, right? It's just fun to team up with your friend and do cool shit
Against them. Let me toss it over to Sean to explain how it works.
Damn, that hurts. Maybe I just handshake and you jump up after?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay. Hit the spin. All right, it's gonna be cheap. Are you ready? Oh, you like that? That's kind of clean. Yeah.
Will this mean online 2v2 tournaments? I mean, absolutely. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it'll be limited to 2v2 tournaments. I think the game will even support 2 versus 1. I mean, is there even a reason why they need to be limited to 2 versus 2 specifically? You don't need to be limited to that. You can do 1 versus 2 or 2 versus 1, that kind of stuff. The game supports it. There is advantages though for running 2v2, and it's because you have a second pair of hands. The handshake system allows characters to do things in a way that 2v2 will benefit a little bit. So, and it's not super surface level where that benefit is. And I think, yeah, there is definitely some interesting shit in the game where if your assist calls and you delay it at certain times, characters can act a little bit more if you have 2v2 instead of just, you controlling 2 characters. So it is super interesting.
I do love to see it. Y'all have no idea how long I've been waiting to talk about this. This is Clock, one of our game designers.
Yo, what's up, everyone?
Let's get into it. Duo play works a bit like tag team wrestling. One player controls the champ on stage, and the other waits off screen for their teammate to find the right moment to tag them in. In our
Just before we get any further, this is just an example of disgust, like just absolute disgusting mix that this game sets up for. And this is one layer disgusting mix, right? This is single layer disgusting mix.
Play works a bit like tag team wrestling. One player controls the.
So he was able to handshake tag once, right? No one's blocking this shit, right? Right? No one's blocking this shit.
Duo play works a bit like tag team wrestling. One player controls the champ on stage, and the other.
If he had the double handshake tag, while this orb is out, you could bring in the other character would stay there, Echo would stay on the screen a bit longer. You do the mix and then tag back to Echo to do a follow-up mix-up in case the first layer fucked up. That is what double handshake tag allows. That is what the freestyle groove does. So you don't just have the first layer mix-up, there's also layer 2 and layer 3 based on how you synergize after. And that's based on like an Oki situation, right? You like knock them down.
Right moment to
It looks so cool. It's the sickest looking shit. Why do I feel that way? Because I felt that way about Power Rangers back in like 2019.
the champ on stage, and the other waits off screen for their teammate to find the right moment to tag them in. In our last update, we showcased some of our tag mechanics, all of which were designed from the ground up to encourage teamwork. Sharing in victories, defeats, performing combos together, or saving your partner in a clutch moment.
Who controls the tag? The on-screen player. Yeah, there's a lot of questions about that. The tag is controlled by whoever is currently active, right? But here's the thing. In this game, you don't just raw tag most of the time. You have to essentially call the assist, and as the assist is out, they finish the assist or they don't, but you can press tag. But those actions is controlled by the screen player. However, calling the assist itself is controlled by the person in the background. So what does the person in the background control? What does the non-playing person control? You call when the assist comes out, and you call a breaker. Those are your responsibility, from what I remember. As the active player, what do you control? You actually control the tagging, right? The person who is currently playing the game controls when you give control to the next person. You actually handshake off and like tag the other person in yourself. So it's whoever's actively playing that will make that choice. So you can get some control hogs that just don't ever pass off to you, and you can't do anything about it. And then your character comes in and now you have no assist. It's like, well, shit. Oh, damn it.
Saving your partner in a clutch moment are just some of the new ways you can experience the game as a duo. Project L will support 1v1, 2v2, and even 2v1 matchups. So don't worry, solo players. You can still play as a solo tag team fighter and control both champs at once.
And that's really smart, right? The fact that the game still supports a system where I can still control both characters myself and not have to worry about the burden of another player, much less being carried by another player, much less being angry at another player. The last thing I want to do in a fighting game is blame someone else for me being bad. That to me is such an alien concept. However, I don't think it will be an alien concept to a lot of players. I think that's a very welcoming concept to Riot games / like League games. So for me personally, I'll play it for fun, but when it comes to like ranked and stuff like that, I'm definitely gonna have to feel it out, dude. I think I want to be blamed for my losses so I can figure it out myself and then improve in some way instead of just blaming some other bitch for not doing the thing at the right time. But that's a boomer ass mentality, right? I understand.
Fight your own battles or bring a friend. The choice is yours.
Time to throw down. Yeah.
So cool. Presentation's great.
Whatever your setup, our systems are designed to feel fluid and rewarding for players on stage and off screen. And that starts before you even get into a match. Before the game starts, each team can choose to customize how their champs play together with something we're calling the fuse system. With fuses, you can choose between powerful synergies that change up your duo's playstyle and really allow player expression to shine. I want to talk about one fuse called 2x assist. This allows your team to throw out 2 assists back to back instead of just one. With each champion having
this was
2
really
assists,
powerful for pressure and combo extension. This was a really good fuse / groove.
and some of them being chargeable, there is a lot to discover. But you can always change your fuse for the next match to find out what feels right. We're really excited for all the possibilities here and can't wait to see what you come up with. Team play is at the heart of Project L's design and the foundation of the game overall.
You're really worried about the game with regard to 4-player netcode matches, especially since the game's free to play? Don't worry. You literally have the responsible party for creating good online with fighting games making this game, and they already have a really expensive solution in place so that 4 players can hopefully, it can be as easy as it possibly can be, or as functional as it possibly can be. This is free to play? Yes, this will be a free to play game.
We know it's a difficult design challenge to get right, but we spent a lot of time figuring out how to make duo play something truly unique and special for you all to enjoy and master.
I'm sure you've got loads of questions, so keep them close, because I have one more thing to tell you all. I'm thrilled to say that Project L will have a playable demo at EVO, where you can come try out the game on the show floor. We'll have 4 champions available, no sign-up required. Whether you're attending or not, look out for another update with more reveals soon. In the meantime, go check out this full 2v2 match between 4 of our devs. Link in the description below.
Yeah, let's check that out.
Thank you all for watching, and see you in Las Vegas.
Yeah, and I think compared to even the footage we saw before, like huge jumps, right? Huge jumps in overall polish and mechanical depth and all that kind of stuff. There we go. Let's check this out.
Here's the debut of a full match played by the dev team.
On the first team, we have Pat the Flip, a fighting game legend and teacher extraordinaire. And Caroline, a game designer leading the efforts on Alawi. On the other team, we have Maxine, aka Max, and Dan, aka Dread. When these two duo, they're collectively known as Maximum Dread. Cheer them all on and check.
Will you be able to know the player's connection if they're on Wi-Fi or their signal? Buddy, you are way too early. Come back in like 2 years, maybe.
It out.
Right?
I mean, Orb is always going to be the safe.
If you're curious about all that stuff, what skins can I buy? Come back in like a year and a half, 2 years, and answer that and ask that question again. You are way too early. We're talking about how does the game even work, right? How does the game? You can play duos. Like, how does the game even function? Like, how do we even? They're just for the first time allowing a public to even try the game in some way, and it's only 4 characters. So don't worry about all like the small nuanced shit. That'll come much later when you actually get a chance to like maybe hear when you hear something about a beta. That's when you want to ask that question.
All right, make it spin. It's fine. Good. Nice catch.
So let's see if I can break some of this down.
Oh my
Level
God.
1.
I take it so.
Doesn't hit both characters.
Look at my health.
Jesus, look at the secondary character back here. Echo got absolutely smashed. Darius does very good damage. Where did he get smashed at?
All right, time wind this out.
That hurts.
Oh, good.
Oh, really? Hold on a second. What was Ari doing?
All right, time wind this out.
Oh, wow. So this has double assist. So check this out. Look what this Ari assist does, chat. She comes in, does the Vegeta thing, runs forward, does Vegeta thing again, right? So that was controlled by the other player on the opposite end. Here's a really cool thing in the game. When you want to call an assist, there's delay assist call. So you just press like forward or back, whatever assist you want. There's two assists. You press forward or back, and the character will wait, right? They will actually like run in, and until you let go of the assist button, then they'll do the attack. So you can have these cool moments where you're like running at the opponent with your main and you call out your assist and keep the button held down, and you're both like cooking it at the opponent with the assist in your main character, and then you let it go and then they attack. Super cool, right? Genuinely cool. This thing you're seeing here is the unique trait. This is the fuse thing. So you call assist and then it has a follow-up attack after. She essentially does 2 times the Vegeta assist. Or Cold Star.
Oh, that's big damage. Okay, nice. Oh, there we go.
And yeah, look how much damage freaking Echo in the background took.
Good.
Got Happy Boo-Booed.
Nice catch.
Oh, I got Happy Boo-Booed again.
Oh my God, I take it so. I haven't gotten the chance to play and look at my health. All right, you gotta stick around a little longer.
Yeah, here's for example, I think throws were visually a little weak in the game. And here's a good example of that. This is where like they're still figuring stuff out at like a rudimentary level. They're still figuring out how things feel and look.
Play and look at my health. All
this
right,
throw
stick around a little longer.
Needs more, right? Throws need. All throws were kind of like that. Even if you teched a throw, it just didn't feel like it had like a satisfying sound or look or like visual. And that's where like so a lot of our feedback was. That was the kind of stuff that we were talking about, like these small things in between. Overall, it was like, you know, we're having a lot of fun. It's a cool game, but that was the kind of feedback we were there to talk about.
Okay. Nice work.
Damn, double Ari assist seems gross. Oh my God, Echo, you're already dead.
Nicely done.
Come back to Sentry Thing.
Yeah, I saw.
Oh, it didn't hit.
Oh no, I went
Nice
into press.
conversion. Oh,
Okay.
all right, get it?
Wow.
Okay, good luck.
Okay. I told you. I guess touch it. Alright.
Oh, good.
Nice. Nice.
Damn. That stand special 2 on
Nice.
Darius. That's the big like blood swipe.
Honestly, I was waiting for it. But tag me.
Here.
Oh, good stuff. Tagging?
Neat.
Come back.
By the way, I love this sound effect, right? When you tag a character in, I want you to listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this sound effect.
Oh, good stuff. Tagging?
Literally is like an ass. It's an ass slap. I think that's a great tag sound. I really like that. It's an ass slap.
Come back.
Oh!
Nice.
Oh, good cross up.
That's a really good cross up. Goddamn.
Okay, tag me.
Put me in, coach.
Ooh, fancy.
Oh, no. Okay. Block.
That was a hell of a good block, right?
Oh, no. Okay. Block. Hey.
So, what was this? Was this parry?
Oh, no. Okay. Block. Hey.
Wow.
So that's parry. Parry is light and heavy at the same time, and it's literally a pose the character takes. And if you get hit for the direction of that pose, like if it's a high, you get mids and highs. If it's a low, you have to do the low parry. He was able to punish. You see how the parry worked? Where he parried the assist, and it knocked back the main character, but allowed you to hit the assist. So once again, defensive mechanics are really good, but they are high risk, high reward. That's risky because you have to, like, if you miss the parry timing, you're fucked. You just lost a bar. However, if you hit the parry, you actually keep the bar, and that's genuinely cool. You actually keep the entire meter. This normally costs 1 complete stock of your super meter, and now it costs literally nothing. So it is refunded to you if it was successful.
Save me. Where are you going?
Still risky though. I ended up using it not that much because when it whiffs, it hurts. You're like, oh no. And knowing exactly what people want to do with their offense is kind of hard to know. Nobody knows exactly what's going on. But at higher level, it will be good because it means that you can't immediately just flowchart your block strings. You can't flowchart your offense while the other person's blocking. You have to mess around with it. Parry recovery is huge. It's pretty big. Yeah. There's a noticeable amount of recovery. If you see somebody whiff parry, you just smack them.
She's like, I'm out of here.
Nobody saw that.
Oh, good.
Please,
Good.
that
Mash, mash. Oh, you got me.
Oh.
And there it was. Look at that. And there it was. Check this out.
Mash, mash. Oh, you got me.
And that was Ari going for parry, and she whiffed it.
Oh.
And oh shit.
You got it. Nice.
So again, high risk, high reward defensive mechanic.
My assist does extra damage.
Took that one.
I don't think that should change either. I think parry being the high risk, high reward is really good. I think that's actually super fun. There's just not a lot of like low risk, low reward defensive options right now.
Nice.
Well, I got some.
All right, got this.
No. It's okay.
Oh, good jump.
Oh.
Excellent.
Oh.
Nice try. I'll be more careful with my assist.
Damn, good break.
Oh, we have nothing to spend.
Yeah, it's fine. All right, tagging.
Oh.
All right.
You're coming in?
You have no idea what the white and red health bars represent? This is recover. Huh. Okay, no, white is how much damage was dealt.
You're coming in.
Red is recoverable life. So the red is what comes back. If you get the opponent into the background, they will recover this. The white is what was being dealt in the current moment. The interesting thing about this red health is that this can also be removed. You can remove the potential health of characters by doing raw tag launcher. And I think raw tag launcher took away that health, similar to Street Fighter Cross Tekken, right? That's the in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, chat. How did you get rid of the opponent's white health? I can't remember. Was it from? It was from some kind of tag mechanic. It was throw. Yeah, it was on throw and like level 3s and shit. You would remove that stuff. In this game, you could remove red health by doing the big tag hit. I'm pretty sure, right? The just tag button with the big launcher. I think that removes the red health in this game. The reason that is, there's no snapback. This game has no snapback functionality. You cannot force the other opponent to tag in the other character. There is no snapping in the game at all right now.
Oh, the time winder from off screen.
Let's see if that worked the way I was explaining it, because that's what we were told.
From off screen.
So this was the life that was dealt. There was also a tag in there. How much recoverable health does she have? It should be like low, like right here. Hey, it is. So that would have been way more, right? The amount of recoverable health would have been like to here or some shit. It would have been like this size. So my camera's in the way. Sorry. I'm gonna just get the hell out of the way. If we go back to this, because Echo comboed into, I'm sorry, Ari comboed into Echo with the tag hit. Here's what happens. Raw damage. Tag hit. Because tag hit's here, at this point, all this damage has been dealt. There's no red health here anymore because of this, I think. And all the stuff that Echo is doing after represents like the red health. So like I said, it should be like right here-ish after this combo's over. And there it is. So that makes sense. If they did not do the tag launcher, it might have been way higher. It might have been like way up here or something like that. So there's more incentive to use the big tag thing, which was kind of hard to figure out where to put that in combos.
Yeah, okay. Yo.
Oh, that blocks my, okay.
Another parry.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Cold Star, Vegeta assist, doing work.
Oh, good.
So what happened here? What happened, right? There was a drop here. There was a duos drop here. So what happened?
Nice.
So at this point, you got to remember, whenever the assist character's on the screen, you can handshake tag to them at any point. As long as they haven't exited screen, they are taggable. So even when they're doing poses and stuff.
Wow.
This tag happened here because the active player chose to tag into Ari. And it kind of like drops the combo. This person wasn't ready. Ari was not ready to be tagged in at that moment. So that's sort of the dynamic you get between duos and what you have to figure out. When does the lead character choose to tag into the other person? And this right now is putting Echo kind of in a bad situation. He might get hit.
Oh, almost.
How did I know?
Oh, good.
Right, and now he's gonna get fucked up. But it also left the other Ari open to be hit. So some interesting dynamics there. That's why the tag system in this game, I love it. That's why, like, this is my second favorite tag system next to like MVCI, right?
All right. Plate finished. Now we pack and left it.
A lot of people are asking about comeback mechanics, so you can see it right here. When your character is the last character left, there's a line right at 50% health. I think it's 50% health. And what it does is allow you to bring in your dead character's assist. If your character is dead in the background, you could actually use them as an assist when you are below 50% health, but they have like a super juiced mega assist. Like it's a really powerful, really good assist. However, you can't call it with the normal timing. It takes 10 seconds to recharge. That's last stand. Yeah, the mechanic is called last stand. So it is a comeback mechanic, but it is severely you know, not nearly as overbearing as the majority of other assists. But they're dead. Yeah, whatever. It's a video game. They're dead. Who gives a shit? It's the last stand, man.
Yep. Good stuff. Oh.
Oh, I thought that it would get the toe.
Does your partner so control the burst even if their character is dead? I believe so. Yeah, I think so. Kenny, are you still here? Kenny would answer that because Kenny played more duos than I did. Maybe. As I think bursting was completely up to the partner, even if they're dead. If you have like the green gauge for it. It just happened? Well, I can't tell you who controlled it, right? That's what we're talking about. Because right now, the dead character in the background can still come in and do a burst.
I thought that it would get the toe.
So yeah, there she is. I'm assuming this burst is on the onus, whatever the hell it is, of the dead character.
Almost. All right, come in.
Okay.
There we go.
And now we get an example of, was this either double? This was the DHC thing.
Almost.
Yeah, here's a DHC.
All right.
A level 1 into a level 1. Level 1, DHC into a level 1.
Oh, in the picture perfect finish. Good stuff.
It's GG's.
GG's.
Sweet dreams.
Right. All right. So now hopefully you understand a little bit more how duo stuff works. I will say the most fun I had playing Project L was spent at the end of our sessions. I was fighting myself alone with my two characters against Kenny and Steve. Legit had a ton of fun. So I could definitely see where maybe duos isn't for me especially. However, it was being described as Kenny and Steve have to fight the raid boss. And where I was fighting Kenny and Steve and shit, and they were doing pretty good. And, you know, it was funny hearing them like pop off at me and shit for how stupid I'm being and stuff. Here's an example of how funny this is. There was a moment where the person that's responsible for breaking is the person that's not playing. So I just smack Steve and I'm going up for like an 80% damage combo or some shit. And Steve is like, break. And Kenny breaks and I just block it. And Kenny is like, why are you so loud, fool? Like, so that shit is funny as fuck. Like that was some of the most fun. We were making so much noise because it was hilarious. Why are you so loud? Like, I loved it. I absolutely loved that shit.